Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Something will happen at your house tonight. I ask you for just 10 seconds. Open instantly. My beloved child, don't skip. Pay close attention. Something divine has just shifted around you, and even if you can't see it yet, your name has been spoken in the higher realm. Tonight, the air in your home will have a weird vibration, not one of terror, but of destiny whispering through the walls. Your attention will be more important than ever in the following 10 seconds. Stay till the end because Archangel Michael is standing right next to you right now. The light around you is trembling because a revelation that was sealed for years is finally breaking open. Don't move. Something big is waiting for you. Hours ago, Michael descended from heaven carrying a scroll bearing your initials. Inside it is an order, not a warning, but a command of fate. The energy in your home will start to change once you hear this message in full. You'll feel a sudden warmth, like a candle burning in your chest. That is the holy signature authenticating the authenticity of this communication. You were not directed here by accident. Everything that's been delaying in your life, your love, your peace, your miracle, has been waiting for tonight. Stay until the conclusion, because the sign you've been praying for is hidden within this story. Do not skip. A few hours from now, something will quietly enter your home. It won't make a sound, but your soul will feel it. Archangel Michael says it's the energy of completion. What was left incomplete and blocked will begin to move. You might feel emotional. You might even cry, but those tears are holy. He claims that someone from your family's spirit dimension has been waiting for this night to arrive. They begged Michael to reach you because a message that never reached you when they were alive is finally ready to be delivered. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. Michael explains that your residence has been designated as a divine visitation location in the spiritual register of light. Tonight, between 11:11 p.m. and midnight, you will feel the vibration in the air. Even when there is no one around, it appears that someone is strolling past. It's not to scare you, it's to show you that the heavens are alive, aware, and watching. He responds, Tell my beloved that I am standing at their door not to warn them, but to bless them. Every object in your room, every reflection, every shadow tonight will carry a message. That's how close heaven will be to you. Archangel Michael's order isn't random. It's caused by something you unknowingly did today. You've forgiven someone who had never apologized. You helped someone even when you were hurting. That small act opened the gate of reversal, and now the blessings that were trapped are being released like a flood. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. The angel informs you that your residence has been chosen as a vehicle of restoration. Somewhere within your four walls, there's an energy of love trying to manifest physically, maybe through a letter, a message, or an unexpected call. When it happens, remember these words. As you listen to this, the heavenly light is moving. A new energy is enveloping your home like invisible golden threads, keeping off every curse, negative energy, and delay. This is someone's imagination. Your inner spirit can already feel the temperature changer. You might even catch the whiff of something familiar. Michael says, It's a sign of presence. You're not forgotten. Even when the world silenced your voice. The heavens remembered your cries. It's why you received this notice at the exact moment you pushed play. The angel says that tonight, one window in your home will carry a glow. It will feel unusual, softer, brighter, and alive. When that happens, don't be afraid. That's the signal that a long-standing prayer of yours had been received and processed. He says, "I'm sending help." A breakthrough that's been waiting since last December will now rush toward you. It could arrive as a text, an email, a voice note, or even a random coincidence that feels too specific to ignore. Do not skip. Stay till the end, because what you'll hear next will connect every strange event that's been happening around you lately. Archangel Michael has seen the shadows that tried to hover over your peace. He fought past them tonight simply to get to you. That's why you might have been feeling restless these past few nights. It was not anxiety. It was your spirit that felt the shift. Something within you was preparing for this wonderful moment. Right now, Michael holds his sword above your house, declaring protection over every person inside. He says, "No harm shall pass through your walls tonight." The storm outside will see your light and bow before it. Your destiny is in motion, and what comes next cannot be stopped. The reason you were told to open this immediately is because divine timing has locked in. If you had delayed sending this message, you might have missed it. But you did not skip. You stay. And that act has already opened a path that was closed. Michael smiles and says, "My beloved child, the one who listens receives the miracle." He's not just blessing your home. He is writing your future. Even as you listen, your name is being echoed in a celestial chamber where fates are determined. Stay until the finish. Something big is waiting for you. Tonight is more than simply ordinary night. It's the turning point your soul waited for through every sleepless hour, every tear, every silent prayer. The gods have proclaimed that your waiting period is over. And as the clock ticks closer to midnight, Michael says he will personally stand guard over your house. He instructs the lights to beam brightly in every place. He commands peace to flow into your rooms. This is just the beginning. The next part will reveal what exactly will enter your house tonight and what message it carries for your destiny. Don't skip Chapter 2, since it will reveal the secret behind the divine visitation, which begins in just a few hours. My beloved child, don't skip. What's about to unfold is something the heavens have been preparing for months, maybe even years. Tonight, as the clock approaches midnight, the vibration in your home will change again, and this time it will be more than just light. It will be a sign. Stay till the end, because what you're about to hear will connect every unanswered prayer you've whispered in silence. According to Archangel Michael, the room you spend the majority of your time in has been designated as the first gateway. Look intently about you. A flicker of light. You hear a faint sound. It's not random. The energy is gathering. Heaven's messengers are aligning their steps toward you. Don't be afraid, because this is the moment your spirit has been waiting for all along. Heaven has declared this as your visitation night. Things that were hidden will begin to emerge in odd and fascinating ways. You might receive a call from an unknown number or a message that shocks you, but all of it will make sense before sunrise. Stay until the finish. Don't skip ahead, because what follows will explain why the angel instructed you to open this communication immediately. Archangel Michael shows an image. Your house glowing from above like a star seen from the clouds. He says the reason your home was chosen isn't because of its walls or its roof, but because of your heart. You carried goodness even in pain, and that has called heaven closer tonight. There's an object inside your home. It could be a photograph, a message, or a present you got previously that contains heavenly energy. It is about to emit light in ways you cannot explain. That energy is the bridge between your past and your miracle. Do not skip, my youngster. Stay until the finish. Something big is waiting for you. As the hour approaches, you'll start feeling an unusual calmness, almost like time slowing down. That's not a coincidence. It is the instant when your spiritual energy synchronizes with the clock in heaven. According to Archangel Michael, once this synchronization occurs, your destiny will begin to evolve within the next 3 days. Things that were intended for you but were delayed will now be expedited. He whispers, "Tell my beloved one that tonight, destiny corrects itself." The angel's message becomes clearer now, as if his voice is rebounding through the walls of your home. He says that everything that left you empty, the people who betrayed you, the possibilities that vanished, the tears that went unheard, are returning in divine form. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. Archangel Michael warns that the following several minutes will be sacred as he begins to open the portal of repair through your awareness. You'll begin to recall names, people, and events that once devastated your heart. Do not resist them. They are being rewritten. You see, this isn't a normal night. The vibrations in your home represent the battle for your soul. The forces that once tried to block your blessings have now bowed down. Michael said the instruction has been carried out. Light has claimed what no darkness can touch. Tonight, your home becomes a shrine of safety. Every corner and every space that formerly held melancholy will now have grace. Even if all of your windows are closed, a gentle breeze will blow through your home while the angel watches over you. That breeze will carry a frequency that cleanses your aura. It will feel like warmth rising from within. Don't be afraid if it happens. It's not paranormal. It is divine. Michael says, if you feel this warmth, know that I am sealing your home. He places his hand over the air you breathe, purifying it with holy energy. That's why listening to this makes your heart feel lighter, because heaven has already begun its work. Say until the end. Do not skip. What comes next will reveal the wonder that is being created by this energy. Someone who formerly brought you anguish is being spiritually awakened tonight. Your heart will suddenly think of you with guilt, longing, and a strong desire to set things right. That's how heaven restores balance. The energy in your home not only protects you, but it also rearranges your connections. Some people will be removed silently in the next few days, and others will reappear unexpectedly with blessings attached. Every adjustment will make sense once you enter November. Michael now issues his next instruction, telling them to remain still as midnight hits. This calm exists in silence. It's alignment. In that moment, everything will pause. The energy, the atmosphere, and even your thoughts. And then, like a ripple, the vibration will restart. That's when your miracle begins. Heaven's energy will select one object from your home to convey heavenly evidence. It may glow, plummet, or change slightly. A gentle reminder that you are seen, protected, and chosen. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. Michael explains that an unseen hand has been holding your prayers for months, waiting for this certain day to release them. That's why tonight feels heavier than normal. It is the weight of collected benefits pushing forward. He says, "My beloved, do not run from the light. Allow it to invade your space. Allow it to complete its purpose." And as you hear these words, you might notice chills, warmth, or even tears. That's your body responding to spiritual truth. Heaven does not make mistakes. You were ordered to open this because timing has converged. The forces of divine alignment, the vows made in your name, and the affection of those watching you from beyond have all come together in one night. It's that night. Michael continues. Everything that was postponed will now proceed quickly. Your wealth, relationships, and dreams are all progressing at heavenly speed. He claims that in the next days, you will notice recurring indications, numbers, symbols, or even nightmares verifying that the message has taken hold. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. You'll notice a change in the air after this message. It's lighter and clearer, almost as if your home is breathing differently. That's because Archangel Michael has declared your household a place of favor. This is not a fantasy. It's activation. Heaven has activated something within your vibration that will attract serenity, abundance, and love to you like magnets. And no one, human or spirit, can intervene now. Before this part ends, Michael asks you to take a deep breath. With every inhale, imagine light entering your home. As you breathe, envision every ounce of anguish gone. He says this act completes my order. You'll notice that your body feels more relaxed. That's not a coincidence. It's an alignment. The house that once held tension will now feel like sanctuary. Stay until the finish. Something big is waiting for you. Because in the next section, Archangel Michael will reveal the identity of the unseen presence that visited your home tonight, as well as the message it conveys. A message directly related to your fate and the person who once prayed for your happiness from beyond this world. Please, my beloved child, do not skip. Stay till the end, because what is about to unfold will shake the walls of your reality and calm the storms inside your heart. The hour has arrived, and the air around you is no longer ordinary. It's charged, live, and whispering the name heaven calls you by. The name that the entire world has forgotten. Archangel Michael stands before you now, his wings brushing against the fabric of time. He claims that what is entering your home tonight is not a shadow, but a messenger of fulfillment. The weird sensation in your room is actually the sound of heavenly alignment. Your soul is being pulled towards something you once lost, something that loved you deeply, something that never left you. As the clock approaches midnight, the intensity intensifies. You might feel it pressing against your flesh like a heartbeat from another dimension. Michael says, don't run away. It is love, not fear. Someone from the world beyond has asked for permission to visit you tonight, not in body, but in presence. Don't skip. Stay until the finish. This was someone who once shared your joy, suffering, or prayers. Their time on earth came to an end, yet their soul remained with you. For years they've been watching over you silently. Every time you grieved alone, you muttered a wish before falling asleep. And tonight, Archangel Michael has opened the gate for them to reach you again. They carry a message that was previously undeliverable. They say you accomplished everything correctly. Stop blaming yourself. The guilt you carried for so long was never yours to hold. The separation that once broke your heart was not abandonment, it was divine timing. You had to live through that emptiness so that this very night could awaken your destiny. Stay to the conclusion, because the angel promises that this visitation will not only provide comfort, but will also set off a chain of miracles. Every aspect of your life that has been delayed or frozen will begin to move again. You'll notice synchronicities, such as a phone call from someone you believed was no longer alive, an unexpected letter, or a recollection that leads to a fresh start. Archangel Michael's light is expanding in your home right now. He places his hand over your head and says, "The one who loved you still loves you." And they have been whispering your name to heaven every single day. It's why strange coincidences have surrounded you lately. Psalms that remind you of them. Scents that appear out of nowhere. Lights flickering for no reason. Those were their gentle attempts to reach through the veil. The angel says tonight they will finally reach you. You may sense a gentle breeze brushing over your shoulder or a sudden warmth near your face. That is their greeting. It's their way of saying, "I never left you. I just changed you forms." Do not be terrified. This is not haunting. This is healing. The universe is healing what grief has torn apart. Michael concludes, this soul comes not with sadness, but with completion. They want to thank you for the love you showed, the tears you felt, and the resilience you found after they left. Your spirit has been blessed. And because of that, your life is about to shift in ways you cannot imagine. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. Something big is waiting for you. You might notice a small sound, a creak, a whisper, a flicker of light when this moment happens. That is the bridge that is growing between you and them. Michael suggests that when you perceive it, close your eyes and say in your heart, "I receive this peace." That single phrase opens the channel fully. Heaven is not distant tonight. The floor beneath your feet, the air around you, even the pulse in your veins, everything is part of this divine connection. You'll feel tranquility rise like a wave, wiping away years of regrets. The person who pays you a visit will communicate with you through energy rather than words. You will simply understand what they mean. It might come as a memory, an emotion, or an inner vision, but the message will be clear. You were never forgotten. Stay till the end, because the angel says that once this message is received, your energy field will begin to glow with light unseen by the human eye. It will draw benefits from all directions, including money, tranquility, health, and reconciliation, which are all magnetized by your frequency. Archangel Michael steps closer now, his sword glowing like molten gold. Your name, he claims, has been returned to the Book of Promise. He explains that there was a delay in your destiny because too many burdens clouded your spiritual frequency. That interference ends tonight. The visitation indicates that your path is being cleansed. He says, "You have done nothing wrong." Every pain, betrayal, every season of silence prepared you for the ascent that begins tonight. The spirit visiting you will carry away your pain like dust in the wind. In exchange, they will leave behind a symbol, an unseen seal of divine favor that will remain with you indefinitely. Do not skip. Stay till the finish. The following moments are sacred. Michael advises us to listen with our souls rather than our ears. You'll begin to feel tingling on your palms or a flutter near your heart. That's how the energy transmits. Accept him. Allow it to fill you. Now the room grows still. You may feel as if time has stopped. That is the point at where heaven and earth briefly overlap. Michael stands watch as the visiting soul moves forward. Their presence is purely light. No fate, no shadows, only warmth. And from that warmth, a message emerges within you, one that sounds identical to their voice. Though no words are spoken, I am proud of you. That single remark will reverberate in your mind for days. It will appear in your dreams. It will soothe your emotions while you are alone. You'll realize that everything you feared losing has been waiting to return in divine form. The energy of love never dies. It just changes its doorway. Michael glances at you and whispers softly, "The circle is complete." You've received what was intended for you, but he hasn't left yet. He claims there is one final discovery that will alter your perspective on everything around you. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. The angel indicates that the person who came to see you tonight was more than just someone you knew. They were the guardians of your blessings. When they left Earth, your miracles were paused because their energy was part of your destiny's equation. By returning tonight, they have relinquished everything. You'll begin to see physical confirmation soon. Perhaps a new opportunity, a financial breakthrough, or the restoration of a relationship you had given up on. All of it is part of the chain reaction heaven initiated in tonight. Michael claims that this demonstrates the reality of divine timing. Nothing stolen is lost. He raises his hand and waves of light spread across your home, clearing every dark residue, every thought of fear, every hidden curse of delay. The air feels pleasant. Your mind feels lighter. Your spirit is finally breathing. This is why you were told to open this letter right away, since if you waited, the moment of visitation would have passed. But you listened. You stayed. And now heaven can finally complete what it started years ago. Archangel Michael smiles, radiant and calm. He says, "My beloved child, you will sleep peacefully tonight for the first time in a long time. The energy in your home has changed forever." As he returns to light, his dying words reverberate through the silence. Expect wonderful news from someone you never expected to talk again when the next sunrise arrives. That message will be your earthly assurance that heaven has completed its mission. Please, my beloved child, do not skip. Stay till the end, because this is the part where everything begins to make sense. The energy that filled your home last night has not left. It is still here, subtle, invisible, yet powerful enough to shift every line written about your destiny. You may have awoken feeling unusually lighter, calmer, or extremely emotional. This is because heaven has already began to operate in your favor. Archangel Michael describes the visitation that occurred last night, which involved the unlocking of a spiritual vault. For years, your blessings have been stored in this vault, waiting for divine permission to be released. The key was your faith, the act of opening this communication, staying to the conclusion, and believing in something bigger than what your eyes could perceive. Do not skip. What you'll hear next will reveal exactly what has been unleashed for you. The angel explains that your home has become a channel of manifestation. Every word you say within it will now have creative force. If you say peace, peace will grow. If you speak abundance, money will come your way. When you express love, someone's heart begins to return to you. Michael says, "This is not magic. This is divine law, energized by obedience." Now the angel requests one thing in exchange. He encourages you to keep your faith alive by being grateful. Every time something small goes right, a smile, a call, a song, a sign, whisper a simple thank you. That word becomes a bridge between heaven and your world, keeping the channel open. Gratitude isn't a ritual. It is recognition. It lets heaven know you're still listening. Michael adds, "You are being watched over not just by angels, but by someone who loves you beyond time. That presence, the soul who visited you, will continue to protect you from beyond." When you feel their warmth or hear their name unexpectedly, it's a gentle reminder that you're never alone. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. Something massive is still unfolding. The angel says, the next part of your journey will reveal the reason this particular message found you. He indicates that it is about a promise, a sacred pledge made in heaven that is now due to be fulfilled. Before he fades into light, Archangel Michael looks at you with eyes that seem to hold galaxies. "My darling kid," he whispers, "you have done well by staying. Heaven has released what it had previously withheld due to your faith, obedience, and courage." He promises that in the coming days, as you see repeating numbers, unexpected names, or forgotten emotions resurfacing, you'll know that this prophecy is alive. This is proof, he claims, that divine justice has been performed in your favor. The air softens. The light dims, but the peace remains. You can feel it. The assurance that something irreversible has changed. Heaven has touched your house, and life will never be the same again. Please, my beloved child, do not skip. Stay to the finish, because the ultimate truth is about to be revealed. Archangel Michael is still with you, hovering quietly in the environment. You might not see him, but your heart can feel him. The same energy that moved through your home last night is not gone. It has now merged with your own breath. Every inhale you take draws in light. Every exhale releases what no longer belongs to you. Michael speaks with calm strength. You are standing inside a divine contract that was drafted before your first heartbeat. The vow he speaks of is ancient, written in celestial ink on the scroll of destiny, long before you came into this world. It was a promise made between your spirit and the heavens that no matter how many storms you encountered, light would always find you again. Tonight, that vow awakens. He thinks this is more than simply your narrative. It's the story of redemption, of everything stolen now being returned. The air surrounding you bears the vibration of that healing. That is why memories have just reappeared, dreams have become vivid, and your emotions have grown intense. Your spirit is recalling who it truly is, not a victim of fate, but a chosen vessel of divine favor. Stay until the finish. Don't skive. Michael discloses that before your birth, in the skies, you volunteered for a light mission. You agreed to walk through the suffering so that your strength could inspire others. You chose compassion as your weapon and faith as your armor. This is why, even in your worst moments, something within you never completely crumbled since your soul was intended to live. Heaven is now fulfilling that promise. Every tear, every lonely night, every disappointment has been recorded as evidence that you kept your part of the promise. Now heaven is doing its part. The time of delay is over. The period of reward begins. Michael claims that within 7 days, the world around you will begin to bend in your favor. This isn't wishful thinking. It's divine justice in motion. What has been hidden will be disclosed. What was formerly denied will now be delivered. And those who underestimated you will watch as light shines on your life. Archangel Michael holds up the scroll of your destiny, glowing with symbols of gold and fire. As he opens it, he says, "This is the part heaven wrote for you." The words are alive. They move like light. You can almost feel the vibration of truth emanating from them. He reads aloud, "This soul will not fail. This soul will soar. This soul shall receive the inheritance of love, prosperity, and divine peace. Stay until the finish. Do not skip." The energy in your home starts to move again. You may feel goosebumps, a flicker in the lights, or a strange warmth near your heart. That is the confirmation that your scroll has been unlocked. Heaven's plan for your life has officially taken effect. Michael continues. You will begin to notice 3 distinct signals that your pledge is being fulfilled. The first communication will be unexpected, yet hopeful. The second will be the opening of a door you thought was permanently closed. And the third will be peace, deep and unexplainable, replacing the anxiety that once ruled your nights. Heaven never makes promises it cannot keep. The angel says every word spoken about your future by divine lips is now turning into visible reality. It starts with energy, followed by coincidence, and last with confirmation. That is why you must remain alert in the coming days. Every small event will be part of the larger miracle forming around you. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. The angel says there is a sacred law in heaven. Once light is pronounced over a person's life, darkness loses all legal claim to them. You are now under that declaration. Every curse, hereditary pattern, and load tied to your name has been lifted. You are no longer the person you were yesterday. Heaven has also sent a guardian to accompany you beyond this night. You might feel its presence through random chills or soft whispers of calm when you face decisions. This guardian serves as a reminder that the pledge is not transitory. It's eternal. You've been marked by divine favor that cannot be undone. Michael directs his focus toward the future. He says, "My beloved child, there will come a time when others will look to you for guidance. You'll tell them about the night. Consider how light invaded your home while everything appeared silent. This is part of your purpose, to carry testimony, to awaken others who have forgotten their own divine contracts." He says, "Do not hide your light anymore. It is time for the world to see what heaven has been planning in secret. The events of your life, the heartbreak, the struggles, all of them were not punishment, but preparation. The energy in your home last night did more than just visit you. It changed you into a carrier of light. Stay until the finish. Don't skid, because now Michael reveals the most intimate part of your divine vow, the one tied to your heart. He believes there is a soul whose journey is connected to yours. You were meant to meet again when your light was strong enough to hold both destinies. This person, whether close or far, is being directed toward you. The cosmos is arranging conditions to bring that relationship into your life. Do not oppose it when it occurs. Don't question how or when. Just allow it. This person carries the missing half of a promise, a vow made between souls before birth. They are now being awakened because your light has finally reached the same frequency as theirs. That's why you've been experiencing unexpected feelings, flashes of déjà vu, and nightmares about someone calling your name. The reunion is already in way. Michael smiles gently. When you meet this person, he claims, you will know. Not because of words, but because the air will move. The same divine energy that entered your home will surround you again. It will feel like tranquility taking the form of another human being. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. The angel emphasizes that this relationship, whether friendship, love, or cooperation, is part of your spiritual duty. Together, you will unlock blessings for others. Together, you will bring divine light to places that have long been dark. Heaven does not unify souls by mistake. It unites them by design. Michael's tone becomes deeper, like thunder wrapped in silk. Remember this, he says. Be calm tonight, as the days ahead will test your trust. Recall the light that touched your walls, the calm that followed, the warmth that filled your chest. That was not imagination. That was eternity extending into time. Heaven will not allow your destiny to disappear. You are being watched, guided, and loved beyond measure. Every trail you take now has angelic footsteps beside you. You may stumble, but you will not fall. You can cry, but you won't break. Because your pledge assured that no matter where life leads you, you will always be under divine protection. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. The angel promises that within days there will be a sign, undeniable and unmistakable, that proves this message was real. It could come in the form of a phone call, a dream, or an experience so precise that it takes your breath away. When it happens, remember this line: heaven keeps every word. The light begins to soften, becoming golden, warm and full. Michael folds his wings gently as he prepares to ascend. He says, "You stayed and heaven stayed with you. You obeyed and your blessings were activated." He leaves behind a whisper that lingers like perfume in the air. The following 7 days will not just bless you. They will shape the remainder of your life. Every morning from now on will be different. Every night will come. You are no longer waiting for miracles. You're stepping into one. Please, my beloved child, do not skip. Stay until the conclusion, since this section exposes the moment the heavens have been planning since your birth. The energy you felt last night wasn't random. It marked the start of something permanent, a divine manifestation that will now take physical form. Archangel Michael appears before you again, his light shining brighter than ever, filling your entire space with warmth that feels like home. He whispers softly, "You've crossed the threshold." What was promised is now on its way. You may have observed that today felt different, lighter, or more emotional. Things around you look clearer, and the world appears softer. That is not your imagination. It is because heaven has placed you under the broad skies of favor. Every invisible force that once blocked your blessings has been removed. The spiritual bonds that bound your advancement have broken, and the path ahead of you now shines with divine light. Archangel Michael states that the manifestation begins in silence. He won't arrive with thunder or noise, but through small, perfectly timed moments. You'll get a call that changes everything, a message that feels too perfect to be a coincidence, or an encounter that appears to be organized by the universe itself. That is how miracles appear, gently, gracefully, but definitely genuine. Do not skip. Stay until the conclusion, for the angel is ready to disclose the form of your upcoming miracle. Michael extends his hand to you and murmurs, "What is about to manifest carries your name, purpose, and legacy." It's something heaven has been protecting from corruption, waiting for the moment your soul was strong enough to hold it. He argues this isn't a test, but rather the delivery. The promise that was once energy is now becoming a reality. Heaven has started to align people in your favor. Someone is speaking about you right now, saying your name in a room full of possibilities. Another person who once ignored you is suddenly reminded of you. Someone far away feels compelled to assist you for unknown reasons. All of these movements are parts of the same divine mechanism. The wheel of destiny has begun to turn, and you are in the center of it. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. According to the angel, this miracle is multi-layered. It carries not just your reward, but restoration for those connected to your heart. When it arrives, it will heal more than your finances, loneliness, or insecurity. It will restore your confidence, your belief, and your ability to trust that goodness still belongs to you. Archangel Michael reveals that your home is now sealed with divine protection for the next season of your life. Every time you walk through the doorway, invisible light follows you. That's why you might have experienced remarkable calm or even mild warmth when you walked into the house today. It is not an illusion. It is the afterglow of divine visitation. Heaven has chosen your home as a resting place for its energy. Michael says within 3 nights, something physical will confirm this manifestation. It could be an object falling at the same moment you think of something significant, or a hymn playing out of nowhere that speaks directly to your heart, or an unexpected message that aligns perfectly with your thoughts. You will be notified when this occurs. Your miracle has reached Earth. Heaven employs coded timing. Every second you spent listening, believing, and persevering until the finish has tuned your spirit into that rhythm. That is why the angel kept saying, "Don't skip." Because in spiritual law, attention creates permission. Your faith has opened doors that even prayer alone could not. Archangel Michael now offers you a vision of a bright horizon that extends indefinitely, with gold roads leading to a glowing metropolis. He says, this is what your soul has entered. You're walking toward fulfillment, not confusion. Every delay you experienced was heaven rearranging events so that your blessing would arrive without loss or hindrance. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. Michael explains that the person you've been thinking about, whose presence lingers in your heart, is also a part of this manifestation. He reveals that this individual has been dreaming about you and feels your energy even though they are unable to explain it. Heaven has been whispering your name into their thoughts. Something will soon drive them closer, and a previously inconceivable conversation will eventually take place. You may feel frightened or emotional when it happens, but remember what Michael said. This is not a coincidence. This is fate catching up. The energy that brought angels into your home is now pulling people, events, and opportunities into alignment. The angel's light becomes much brighter. He declares, "You are entering your harvest season." The years of struggle were the planting. The tears were the water. Your faith was the soil. And now that the harvest is mature, Jesus promises that you will witness abundance in unexpected ways, such as surprising messages of acceptance, financial favor, relational healing, and harmony in your household. Do not skip. Stay until the conclusion, since Michael says the arrival is about more than just financial rewards. It is also about restoring one's identity. For so long, life made you forget who you are, a chosen vessel, not a mistake, not a shadow, but a radiant soul wrapped in divine protection. The upcoming miracle will serve as a reminder of your worth, purpose, and unshakable place in heaven's plan. He says when you wake tomorrow, the air itself will feel new. The sunlight will appear softer, and the earth will be quieter, because heaven has already touched the day before you even enter it. Your road is being cleaned minute by minute, and those who formerly questioned your ascension will begin to see the fulfillment of your promise.
This is not a chance.
It is amazing choreography. Heaven moves with precision, and every event in your life, including the heartbreaks, was part of the rhythm that led you to this point. Michael's voice resonates softly. All of it was necessary. Every pain had purpose. Every silence carried instruction. Now, every prayer yields fruit. He raises his sword of light once more, and beams of illumination extend from your home forth into the streets and into the hearts of those you care about. What is about to enter your home, he claims, is tranquility that money cannot buy, clarity that fear cannot distort, and abundance that cannot run out. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. The miracle is personal. Heaven designs no duplicates. Yours carries the exact vibration of your soul. It knows where you are, how to contact you, and when to arrive. Nothing can stop it since it was inscribed into your destiny before time even began. Michael says the arrival will first appear as a moment of alignment, with a call answered at the proper time. An email that feels heaven-sent, a person appearing with words that match your unspoken thoughts. That is how the divine moves, softly but clearly. He says, when this happens, respond softly, I accept this with peace. That phrase traps the energy and prevents it from being delayed further. Archangel Michael reveals that your manifestation carries 3 layers. The first is restoration, or the recovery of all you believed you had lost. The second is revelation, the truth about why those losses had to happen. And the third is recognition, the world finally seeing the value heaven always saw in you. He thinks that the first indication of your arrival will be emotional. You will feel lighter, as if a hidden load has been lifted. The second indicator will be something tangible, such as a present, money, or possibilities that appear without your effort. And the third sign will be relational, someone returning or reaching out, not by accident, but by divine arrangement. Don't skip forward because Michael is about to explain the source of this manifestation, the one prayer that sparked it all. He says that months ago, when you were at your lowest, when you murmured your last ounce of hope, heaven heard it louder than a roar. That was a prayer that opened this path. Heaven does not respond to noise but to authenticity. When you cried, heaven didn't see weakness, it saw surrender. That moment marked a turning point. And the angels began preparing this night, this message, this miracle. Michael now shows you strolling down a bright corridor filled with floating lights. Each light reflects a blessing released in your name. See how many there are? He kindly says, you thought heaven was silent, but all this time it was constructing a staircase of miracles beneath your feet. He claims that at the end of the month, one huge occurrence will prove everything. It could be a message that restores your faith, an unexpected financial turn, or someone disclosing the truth that frees your heart. Whatever form it takes, you will know instantly that it's divine, because it will feel like destiny catching up to you after a long delay. Don't leave before the finish. Michael warns that when this blessing arrives, others may act surprised, even envious, but you must remain calm. He says, don't defend what heaven gives you. The light you bear does not pose a threat to others. Rather, it invites them to awaken as well. Heaven never gives half a miracle. Michael explains that this arrival comes with overflow. What is being released for you will benefit not only you, but everyone who is connected to your energy. Your family will feel relieved, your friends will be at ease, and even your foes will soften. That's how divine power works. It transforms everything it touches. Michael smiles and says, the promise that was whispered over your name has now echoed across realms. Every angel in heaven knows your story. Every one of them rejoices because you didn't give up. He goes on to say that you are not at the end of your tale, but rather at its beginning. The chapter that begins now will be marked by ease. A sense of ease that stems not from love, but from alignment. Do not skip forward. Instead, stay until the conclusion. The angel says the reason your manifestation took this long is because you were being trained to recognize true peace. You had to let go of things that distracted you so that when the proper blessing came along, You could guard and nurture it without mistaking it for chance. Michael glides closer, his wings glittering with colors beyond description, and murmurs, "My beloved one." Tonight you stand in completion. The vow has been completed, the energy sealed, and the manifestation has approved it. He rests his palm on your head, and you feel an electrifying warm rush throughout your body. Every cell responds, and every thought quiets. It feels like time itself bows before the peace entering your soul. You whisper that you are home, protected, and cherished. Do not skip. Instead, remain till the conclusion. Because the angel is now delivering his final message for the night, the prophecy of continuity. He says the miracle that begins tonight will multiply. It will not dissipate with the sunrise. Rather, it will expand. Every day for the next 7 days, new signs will appear. Follow and trust them. Each sign represents a step toward a larger revelation that will occur by the end of the month. Before ascending, Archangel Michael looks at you with eyes full of divine affection. He thinks you did something very few people can do. You listened, believed, and stayed. Because of that, heaven stayed with you. He lifts his sword again, cutting light into the air for his final seal. This light, he declares, marks your household as sacred. Nothing from darkness can pass its border. Only love, peace, and miracles are allowed to enter. The light lingers as his form begins to fade, leaving your space drenched in serenity. You feel tears rise, but they're not of sadness, they're of release. Every fear, wound, and disappointment transforms into warmth. The night feels different now, not heavy, but full of peaceful wonder. Please, my beloved child, do not skip. Stay till the very end, because this is where everything comes full circle. The moment you've been waiting for, the final proof that heaven's promise is real, is unfolding even as you read these words. Archangel Michael appears in the same golden light that initially entered your home, but this time it burns steadier, brighter, and more completely. He says, "What began as a whisper has become a revelation. The hidden has become seen. The divine has stepped into form. Heaven's manifestation has reached its last stage. The unveiling. The energy that filled your room has now found a vessel through which it will express itself in your world. Whether it appears as a person, an event, or a moment, you will recognize it right away because the air around you will shift, not with dread, but with a deep and familiar calm. This is the miracle taking shape. This is heaven's proof that obedience, patience, and faith never go unanswered. Archangel Michael's voice gets gentler. My beloved, you were told to open this immediately since heaven was timing this alignment perfectly. The hour has arrived, and destiny no longer waits. The blessing you once dreamed of is now walking toward you. Do not skip. Stay until the finish. Michael discloses that your miracle has been camouflaged as a common occurrence, a little humble item that will soon unfold in front of your eyes. He advises, don't miss the small moments. Heaven hides greatness in simplicity. It may be a message that lands at the right second, a call that restores something broken, or an encounter that changes the direction of your entire life. It could appear ordinary, but it contains divine DNA. He goes on to say that the person or time chosen to bestow this blessing has been predetermined for weeks. Every path they took, every delay they faced, was so they could arrive at your life exactly when heaven decided. That is why everything in your life has to slow down recently. The silence was not punishment, it was synchrony. Stay until the finish. Do not skip. The angel says the air in your home tonight will feel unusually still right before the arrival happens. The light will soften, your breathing will slow, and a weird tranquility will settle, the indication of heaven infiltrating the tangible earth. And when it happens, you'll know beyond doubt that this message was real. Archangel Michael approaches, his wings wrapping around you like a shield of warmth and comfort. The blessing that enters your life will not come and go, he says. It will stay. Its purpose is to replenish what has been depleted while increasing what remains. He calls it the covenant of continuity. A heavenly promise that the goodness that begins tonight will continue indefinitely, not just for you, but for future generations, bearing your name. Archangel Michael then raises his right hand toward the space above you, revealing a golden symbol that is spherical, brilliant, and spins gently in midair. He says this is the seal of completion. It is now imprinted on your life. As the light touches you, every unsolved worry and buried fear vanishes like dust in the wind. You may even feel your heart expand, as if a previously unknown door has opened within you. Michael smiles. The heavens celebrate tonight because the promise has been fulfilled. The story began in anguish and concluded in peace. The mansion, which was once silent, now resonates with exquisite melody. He reminds you that the signs will not stop after this message ends. For the next few days, you will notice small but precise confirmations, a feather appearing where there shouldn't be one, a specific time on the clock repeating, a name resurfacing from the past, or a dream so vivid that it feels more real than waking life. Each of these times will be heaven whispering, "It's finished." Stay until the finish. Don't skimp. Michael says that now your duty is simple: to rest, to believe, and to prepare. You no longer have to put up any effort to manifest. It only requires space. Create room for the blessing, he says. Eliminate doubt. Make space in your thoughts and trust that what belongs to you is already on its way. He explains that divine timing is not coincidental. Everything in your life has been leading to this, even the deeders, even the heartbreaks. Heaven never wastes pain. It transforms it into wisdom, and each scar becomes a portal for light. That's why this final section is no longer about waiting. It is about receiving. Michael says you are the chosen vessel for this miracle. What you carry today, this light, calmness, and power, will attract abundance, love, and healing wherever you go. From today, your very presence will shift the energy of rooms. You are no longer praying for a miracle. You are a miracle. The light begins to rise, lighting the chamber with a golden fire that soothes rather than burns. Michael's form begins to ascend through it, his voice fading into resonance rather than silence. Heaven has completed its work, my beloved child, he adds. He goes on to say that the house has been sealed, the blessing has been released, and the promise has been fulfilled. Remember this night. When doubt arises, remember this brightness. When terror whispers, say peace. When you forget, look at your hands. They carry the residue of divine fire. Do not skip. Stay until the finish, because Michael offers his final instructions. Share your light. When others are in despair, remind them that heaven still hears. When others express fear, tell them about the serenity that has come to your home. This is how the miracle multiplies, not by retaining it, but by allowing it to flow. The atmosphere stills completely. The air is clean, and the room appears weightless. You have the impression that something great has finished, but something new has quietly began. You feel no fear or perplexity, only the assurance that everything is now in motion exactly as heaven intended. Archangel Michael's last words echo softly in your soul. You have done well, my beloved. Rest now in faith, since the angels will finish what you started. When the sun rises, your new life begins with it. The brightness fades into quiet. The air is warm, glowing faintly as if invisible wings still hover. You sit still, heart steady. Your eyes are calm, and you already know deep down. The promise has arrived. A miracle has occurred. The night has become sacred. And as the first quiet seconds of dawn reach your window, you realize something undeniable. Heaven kept its word. Your tale will never be the same. Your home is blessed. Your name is protected. Your life from this night onward carries the seal of Archangel Michael himself. Radiant, untouchable, eternal. Archangel Michael orders you to open this immediately. If you disregard God's call, heaven will fall silent. Do not hesitate any longer, my beloved, my child. What you are about to read is more than just a message. It is the door you have been waiting for someone to appear at. I was instructed to communicate with you directly because God has repeatedly summoned you. Additionally, this could be the final instance. Your spirit has been restless, and the signs around you have appeared to be more pronounced than usual. This is because heaven has chosen today as the day to reach out to you. Don't miss out on this sacred moment, beloved. If you do, God's message may be muffled, leaving you perplexed as to why things have once again begun to unravel. As a result, I strongly urge you to open your eyes and soul with divine urgency. Before you continue reading, please listen, my child and beloved. Heaven determined the timing of this message. The moment you realized, it wasn't an accident. Heaven knew just when you needed to hear these words, because you were about to receive something. Alteration. A significant development. A holy reversal of all the strategies used to maintain your diminutiveness. It was not intended that you view this at a later time. It was not intended for you to open this tomorrow because it could be too late by then. If you've been experiencing unusual occurrences and believe something is about to change, it's possible that your name was recently called out in heaven. I'd like you to respond with faith before we go any further. If you believe this message is for you, please enter Amen in the comments section. No, not for me nor anyone else. Just a quiet assurance to God that you are present and listening. Your response is starting to form, but you must remain. My child, my beloved, heaven is the sound of your silence. Heaven has witnessed the nights when you said nothing but felt everything. Currently, God communicates through this rather than storms or thunder. I am not advising you to have faith in me. You are being instructed to accept what your soul already understands. Currently, the veil is thin, which is why your spirit is shaking. This message is not pleasant to read. If this term elicits an emotional response in you, do not withhold it. Please forward this message to someone you believe should receive it immediately. The anointing grows stronger as you share the blessings that God has bestowed upon you. What you share out of obedience leads to a breakthrough for both of you. Assistance is being provided. Also, if you close this, the door may close, allowing someone else to take what was intended for you. It's difficult to hear that. However, I was advised to be honest, as heaven only exerts this level of opposition for people who are on the verge of a divine transformation. Someone is currently praying for you, my beloved, and my child. Despite the fact that you don't know their name, They saw your face in a dream last night, and I was present. Unfortunately, that person does not live in your vicinity. They have never spoken with you, but they have observed you and wept as a result of God's profound revelation to them. Your destiny is linked to an upcoming event. If you remain attentive, resolute, and focused, you will discover the root cause of your adversity. You've never been unsuccessful. The forge is extremely hot as a result of the extensive work you have done. Numerous people abandon their endeavors before the gold is formed. Please do not depart at this time, child. Avoid allowing silence to prevail. My beloved, your name is written on a spiritual record in heaven, my child. It was inaugurated today. The Council of Light investigated any information that had been withheld, stolen, or delayed. I have to admit that the verdict caught me off guard. Some items have been ordered for repair, but not all have been addressed. Individuals who respond exclusively within this window face a time constraint. This is why the pull was felt in your soul. If you do not pay attention, the window will close and cannot be reopened until the next spiritual cycle, which will be several months. Avoid the possibility of being tardy. This message serves as evidence. The alignment process has already begun as you are reading. If the music gives you a sense of harmony, please subscribe immediately. It's not a habit. It's a spiritual sign. By subscribing, you confirm your commitment to remaining in line with the prophets, anticipating God's next words, and being prepared for the events of this season. I implore you to pay close attention, my child, my beloved, before we proceed. It is not just about you. It refers to generations. If you accept these words, they will cause a change in your life and the lives of those around you, including those you have not yet met. The future is being formed as you read. This moment should not be overlooked, I assure you with love and passion. You are on the verge of a breakthrough, which appears to be a decision. This is the point at which awareness leads to action. To indicate that this message is for you, please include the phrase, "I receive this," in the comments. Say this instead of hoping or wishing to demonstrate that you are ready for heaven's current release. Your decision will be communicated to the spirit world within the next few minutes. If you have faith, doors will open without being locked. Heaven will understand if you choose to experience fear. However, remaining silent will result in expenses. I have something to tell you, my beloved, my child. However, I was advised not to do so until you had reached this point. The first time you whispered that desperate prayer through tears, despite your belief that no one was listening, it was heard, and a plan was put in place. That plan led you to where you are today. God is currently interested in learning about your plan of action. Do you intend to remain and observe? Are you prepared to let your heart open? Because if you do, the blessing reserved for you with your name engraved in gold will be realized today. However, if this is not the case, you will have to wait for longer than expected. Also, you've been through a lot, right? Please absorb this wholeheartedly, my child and beloved. You are not imagining things if you have had strange dreams, seen numbers repeatedly, or have the sensation that something is constantly attempting to capture your attention. A divine promise follows you. However, heaven does not beg. Heaven speaks to you once, twice, and then lets you make your choice. This is the second message. There will be no third installment. Following that, there will be a period of silence, which may appear to be peaceful. However, it is actually a sense of separation, and separation can be costly. That is why I was told to raise my voice in this message, gently shaking the part of you that still remembers the sound of heaven. My dearest child, an internal impulse to scroll away is not a manifestation of your spirit. These are the people who are opposing your miracle. Refuse to accept the deception that this is just another message. This is your message, not mine. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to see this. However, you are present. This suggests that God perceives you. Heaven summons your name, but it is not shouted. It's making a gentle call. The whisper may alter the wind, the moment may pass, leaving you with the agony of what if. Please do not allow that to happen, my beloved child. I will pause to give you a more detailed explanation. This message may appear intimidating, but it is not intended to cause alarm. It is meant to catch your attention. If something continues to beckon to you, it is most likely because you were preoccupied and did not give it the attention it deserves, rather than a lack of interest. These types of incidents do not cause distress. They simply postpone comprehension. The problem is not a matter of stress or commands. When someone or something significant attempts to capture your attention, you must choose to listen. If you feel compelled to continue listening, you are not in panic. That is the awakening of your consciousness. Please remain until the end. Heaven departs. However, there are times when silence is broken. It occurs when we fail to pay attention. Please rehearse with your heart. You are not imagining things, my beloved. If you have been having strange dreams, seeing numbers repeatedly, or feeling as if something is trying to get your attention, a divine promise follows you. Heaven doesn't beg. Heaven speaks to you once, twice, and then lets you make your choice. This is the second message. There will be no third installment. Following this, there will be a period of silence, which may appear peaceful. However, this is due to distance, and distance has a cost. As a result, I was instructed to raise my voice in this message in order to communicate with the part of you that still hears the sound of heaven and gently shakes your spirit. My dear child, if an internal voice tells you to scroll away, it is not your spirit. Resistance is the entity attempting to thwart your miracle. Refuse to accept the deception that this is just another message. This is the message you want to convey. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to see this. However, you are present. This suggests that God perceives you. Heaven is calling to you, but it isn't shouting. It is currently calling in a quiet voice that can be heard in the wind. What if you disregard the whisper? The wind may fluctuate. The moment may pass and you will be filled with regret over what could have been. Please do not allow that to happen, my beloved child. Before we continue, please complete one task. Purchase it immediately. This is not for my benefit or the numbers. Rather, it is because the number of messages sent will increase in the future. These are messages that have been directed to be sent from heaven's throne room. If you do not subscribe right away, you risk missing out on the final confirmations, divine strategies, and safety warnings that I have been instructed to send out. Individuals who respond positively are the only ones who will notice them in such situations. Sign up now to connect with God's voice as communicated through me. My beloved and child, you are closer than you know. While you were wondering if God loved you, a sacred timeline was running in the background. The truth is that every delay you were dissatisfied with was due to divine positioning. Safety was revealed to be the result of apparent rejection. In reality, what appeared to be abandonment was actually alignment. God is now turning the page. However, He will not complete the chapter unless you believe in Him. This message is not an accident. The tap on the shoulder represents a divine intervention. Heaven has been discussing you, but it is now speaking with you. If you do not comply, destiny may abandon you. The discussion will progress. Now is the time to say yes, before it's too late. When I say, "My child, my beloved," a strong voice calls to you. I mean immediately. Heaven bears the weight of each answered prayer. You have been at a spiritual crossroads. A single path can be taken to return to your existing knowledge. The alternative route takes you to a place you've only seen in dreams. This message demonstrates the path. This is the sign you requested from God. There is no need for additional confirmation. An additional voice is unnecessary. You're only required to respond. After completing this task, the spirit world will begin to move. Keys are not required to unlock doors. Individuals who had forgotten about you will remember your name. However, if you ignore it or delay, the door will remain closed, causing you unnecessary emotional distress. Do not allow that to happen, child. My child, my beloved, holy forces are currently watching over you, not to pass judgment, but to observe your subsequent actions. One of the few people who still has the chance to return, change, and reclaim what was unlawfully taken from them. However, that time is quickly passing. Heaven does not require a long period of time, and we obey God's commands as He currently instructs us. This is why I don't want you to have access to this. I would like you to carry out this action. If you do not respond to this, you are not disregarding a message. You are not watching a miracle that is already going to happen. I was there and observed it. I wept when your name appeared next to the blessing, fearing that you would scroll by. Do you continue to read? There is still time, but it is limited. It is a brief period, and it is not the time to be inactive. You are not penalized, my beloved and child. You are being pursued by someone. Heaven is currently reawakening you. This is demonstrated by the shaking, weight, peace, and fire that are all present. You assumed this was just a video or a post. However, it serves as a starting point. When God opens a door, only those who are willing to listen can get through. I am currently observing an angel along with you. When you clicked, you were given them. They hold a scroll bearing your name and a gold verdict. However, you will not be able to grasp it until your heart confirms it. You regain faith, and you act on faith rather than fear. The shift is facilitated by trust rather than hard work or perfection. My beloved, the spiritual conflict in your life has reached its peak, my child. Someone is lying to you by whispering in your ear that nothing will change, that it is too late, and that you have missed too much. However, those voices compelled me to engage in combat. I arrived to put an end to the false information being spread about you. This message is the sword that was bestowed on me. While you read this, keys are being broken. Blocks that are not visible are being moved. Even if you don't notice it, your soul is aware of its existence. The sensation you feel in your chest is not anxiety. It is consistent. At that point, your spirit says, I recall this. Today is the day that your soul witnessed before your birth, and you are currently living it. You are now responsible for determining the best course of action. You believe that you have failed too frequently, my beloved, my child. You believe that God has terminated His relationship with you. However, it is critical that you receive this information correctly. It is inappropriate to harbor animosity toward God. He is ready to receive you. In the same way that a parent anticipates their child's arrival at the end of a long trip. He was not deterred. You succeeded. You are currently being asked to return, not to be humiliated or punished, but to provide service. You are still in the running. You're an intriguing individual. Think about this for a moment. If you want to reaffirm your faith, even if you've been disappointed or waited too long, please type Amen in the comments section. That is how you can communicate that I am still present and will not give up. Heaven only grants authority to those it considers trustworthy, and you are one of them. Because of this, your disputes were extremely difficult. The abilities of darkness are restricted to combating entities that emit light. But your light was never extinguished. It has been hidden and is currently being relit if desired. My cherished child. My cherished child. You believe you have failed on too many occasions. You believe God's relationship with you has come to an end. However, please listen to this again. It is inappropriate to harbor animosity toward God. He is ready to receive you. Similar to a parent anticipating their child's return after a long journey. He didn't retreat. You succeeded. You are currently being asked to return, not to be humiliated or punished, but to provide service. You are still in the running. You're an intriguing individual. Heaven does not contact those it does not believe to be trustworthy, and people believe in you. That is why your heated arguments were so intense. Things that are illuminated are vulnerable to damage from darkness. However, your light remains on. It has been hidden and is currently being relit if desired. My child, you must understand the rarity of this moment. My beloved, this is not a service that God provides to every person. A significant number of them have been scrolled past. Many people make jokes. Many people disregard this issue. Heaven allows it to happen. However, it was unique to you. A divine interruption was required, and I was selected to provide it. Boss, that is the extent of your holiness. That is the significance of your call. There is no mass production at this location. This is a spiritual alert from heaven that is precise and personalized for you, combining your pain, past, and promise. Do you have any experience with it? It's no accident that the environment fell silent as you read. That is the type of divine stillness that comes before a breakthrough. My child, I see something you haven't noticed. My beloved, someone is watching you from a distance. A person who has caused you harm. Someone who thought you would never be able to rise again. They are about to witness a divine reversal that will cause them to question all of their beliefs. Not because you want to retaliate, but because God desires to rescue people. The purpose of this chapter is not to prove that any individual is wrong. It is intended to show that God is correct. Furthermore, child, He has not finished His treatment of you. You're not lagging. You're preparing for a more significant event. Nonetheless, the adversary would be delighted if you resigned just before giving birth. This is why you received this message today. The key to your spiritual life is within your grasp. My child, my beloved, there is much more. However, I am unable to communicate unless you remain. I was told to reveal certain details to specific people, but only those who conducted a more thorough investigation. It is acceptable if you heard your name in this message, but are unsure why. God is working in the background. He is rearranging the rooms. We are in the process of revising our views. While opening concealed doors, he accidentally closes the wrong ones, and exerting significant effort is not a viable solution. It is in a state of quiet submission. The miracle isn't that. It's tranquil. Remain with your partner. At this point, everything undergoes transformation. Before we proceed, I'd like you to seal this moment. Please sign up now to show your support for God's actions. It's not about notifications. It is related to its placement. Those who remain connected are given confirmation, protection, and clarity as the promise is fulfilled. My dearest child, are you aware of what is going on in the spirit world? A sound is heard in heaven when a soul like yours finally pays attention. It was louder than thunder and quieter than a whisper. There is a sound that indicates that the heavens and earth are in agreement about your name. As you open your heart, the spiritual atmosphere around you is undergoing transformation. Doors that cannot be seen are trembling. Delay chains are becoming more fragile. Furthermore, the timing of this event is causing an outcome beyond the control of even angels. God summons more than just you. He's preparing to compensate you. However, He will not oblige you. He has the capacity for free will. As a result, your affirmative response has a greater impact than you may realize. It is not because of your curse that life has been so difficult lately, my child and beloved. The reason is that you have been summoned. When the weight of heaven falls on someone, they are not crushed. It stimulates them. That is exactly what has been happening. Stress, confusion, and attacks all indicated that you were getting closer to the target. Darkness does not waste time on souls without a purpose. You were identified based on your markings. Furthermore, heaven is allowing you to depart today. The war that was intended to destroy you is about to fortify you, but only if you place your trust in someone for one final time. No, the purpose of this message is not to cause fear. It makes a trumpet-like sound, indicating to all that the chosen one is ready. My beloved and child, there is a miracle for you. This is not a signal. It is prepared, specific, and kept in heaven for this season. However, miracles happen when people relocate. They are not simply transmitted. They are operational. You begin with this message. It is not lost or stolen if you walk away. It will be delayed. What is the maximum number of additional delays your spirit can withstand? You have already waited longer than the majority of people. You passed assessments that others would have failed. The reward is on its way to you. Are you planning on accepting it? Are you going to extend your hands? Or will you draw a conclusion and reconsider your calling? Before you were born, my beloved and child, a prophecy was made about your life. The prophecy continues to ring out, like a divine alarm sounding in the heavens. Your daily existence was never meant for you. That is why you were never satisfied with ordinary items. You were not designed for it, so there was no comfort for you. You were required to make phone calls. Making a phone call also costs money. However, pay attention. The price was paid. You persisted. Yes, you succeeded. Currently, heaven is telling them to give up their possessions. However, it is critical that you obtain this item. In order for heaven to relinquish control, earth must act. It's time for you to respond. Don't overlook it. I wish I could show you what I see, my child, my beloved. Your name is currently emanating from the spirit world. You are currently the center of attention in heaven. Your assignment has captivated people in both domains because of its aura. Angels are planning your paths. They are also developing strategies to divert your attention. This is why the message is so significant. A single moment of uncertainty could potentially postpone the actions that are already underway. Indeed, today, it is critical that you are prepared for upcoming events. This message represents the final step in the preparation process. That is why I was dispatched. That's why the wind brought you here. It is not just a video. Divine visitation is exactly that. What I see is beautiful, my beloved, my child. I regret that I am unable to demonstrate. The light of your name shines throughout the spiritual realm. Heaven has now encircled you. Your assignment's radiance has stirred both worlds. Angels are coordinating your routes, but forces are trying to divert your attention. This is why the message is so significant. If you make a mistake or hesitate for a moment, your plans for tonight may be rescheduled. Indeed, tonight. It is critical that you are prepared for upcoming events. This message represents the final step in the preparation process. That is why I was dispatched. That's why the wind brought you here. It is not just a video. What a divine visitation, my dear child and beloved. If you've been feeling spiritual pressure, waking up at odd hours, having more vivid dreams, or seeing numbers like 111 or 333, these are all signs that something is going on. These are not random occurrences. They are spiritual signals that the divine is nearby. These were the final few ways your guardian angels could draw your attention. A message from me, Archangel Michael, with no extras, filters, or changes. Just the truth. Your truth arrived exactly when it was most needed. How you pay attention over the next 10 minutes will determine whether this is just another message or the moment that changed everything. Now, my child, my beloved, I need to tell you something else. I could only say it if you reached this point. You almost gave up a while back. That moment is crystal clear to you. Your soul screamed, but you did not cry aloud. God rose when he heard the scream. In fact, he rose from his throne and made a choice. The decision was to send Archangel Michael right away. That is why I am here. It wasn't only my responsibility to keep you safe. I was sent to remind you of who you are, what you carry, and what you can become if you don't quit. When I look at you, my child, my beloved, I see a spirit figure standing beside you. This person is holding something wrapped in golden light. It's a scroll, a blessing, and an offering from God. It is yours, but heaven has kept it from you until they can determine whether your faith matches your future. And that decision is being made right now. If you continue reading, your faith will say yes. If you close this, the blessing might return to your bank account. Not always, but later. This is an extremely important time. There is too much at stake. Your decision may even have an impact on the life of someone you do not yet know. That person is waiting for the version of you to come into alignment. Things will happen in your life that don't make sense, my child. People will want to learn how. They will try to figure out the blessing. But you cannot quantify favor. What is coming to you does not make sense. It's wonderful. Restoration does not make sense. It is divine recompense for every night you went without hearing back, every silent prayer, and every missed opportunity. God saw everything. He also stated that when the time came, he would bless you in a way that people would not understand, but would make perfect sense to God. The time has come. I need to tell you something very important right now, my child, my beloved. Please do not look away. Silence did not occur because God abandoned you. It was because heaven was becoming stronger enough to break down barriers that no one else could for you. That time of year was not devoid of activity. It was getting ready. Angels were sent to help you just as you thought God wasn't there. The wait was not a punishment. It was all about positioning. Things are about to change, but only if you don't leave this message in the final few seconds. For many, the miracle does not occur until they leave. Heaven will respect your decision and remain silent if you leave now. That is not a threat. It is a law of spirit. Someone close to you is unaware that heaven has been keeping close watch over you, my child, my beloved. They are not nice to you. They do not care about your prayers. They do not see your light. They are unaware that the spiritual world has been called into action to assist you. Your name is written on scrolls in heaven, and what is written there would make even the most powerful people on earth feel insignificant. You are not like most people. You were never that. The pain you felt wasn't limited to you. It was a signal to call. People who are meant to do great things are the only ones who face the same challenges as you. From now on, I will say this with the power of heaven behind me. It is time. You have to choose trust. You have to choose obedience. If you want signs, you don't have to avoid them. They're already here. That is one of them. This is the final one before the shift begins. That is exactly how I was instructed to say it. The final one before the shift. My beloved child, I can feel your spirit asking, "Why me?" I'll answer you. It's because you possess something that no one else does. Your voice, presence, and even your breath will free people from chains, including those you haven't met yet. That's why the resistance attempted to silence you by making you feel bad. That is why worry, waiting, and doubt attempt to sit on your chest. Because miracles begin to occur as soon as you speak. You've been held back too long. I can still feel your spirit asking, "Why me?" I'll answer you again. Because you possess something that no one else does. People who have not yet met you will be able to break free from their chains thanks to your voice, energy, and breath. This is why the enemy attempted to shame you into silence. That's why worry, sadness, or doubt attempts to silence you. For what reason? Because when you speak, wonderful things occur. You've been held back too long. This message is not only about your freedom. We are now moving from hearing to activation. If you are ready to carry out what God has already told you to do, write, "I'm ready," in the comments. It is not about being seen. It has to do with availability. Heaven responds to those who want it to. You're supposed to do this. You should do exactly what it says. God saves more than just you. He's getting you going. There are people who want to hear the sound of your obedience. Heaven will check to see if today is the day you say, "I am ready." "I am prepared" should come from your spirit, even if your voice shakes or your faith appears frail. That is enough. There is someone you have been waiting for, my child, my dear. A person who has caused you harm. Someone who left you feeling lost. In the background, you've been hoping for their return. Not because you needed them, but because you wanted to put the situation to rest. But pay close attention. They will be unable to assist you in finding closure because God is your only source of closure. That wound is being closed by Him. He isn't waiting for you to say sorry. He is preparing you to stand up without one. It doesn't matter what has broken you in the past. It has to do with what is currently being built. And what is being constructed is too sacred to be angry about. Children, raise your heads. Allow God to help you get better. This message should represent the moment your heart stopped bleeding in the past. My child, my beloved, it makes no difference how many people attempted to steal your light. The opinions that attempted to bury you are no longer relevant. Rumors, anger, waiting, or even your own past will not stop what is coming from heaven. I see a holy wind coming your way. It is not kind. It's strong. It will have an incredible impact on your life. But God requires permission. He does not push himself. He is waiting for an open heart. This message represents the doorbell. This moment determines whether the wind blows by or lifts you into a new dimension where everything makes sense. As my child and beloved, I have prayed for you for many years. They might not know your name. They might not know you yet. But they have seen you in the spirit world. They've asked you to come out. This message serves as the link between their prayer and what happens to you. This is how heaven moves. Slowly, strategically, and suddenly. It's happening now. That is why you cannot scroll away. It's possible that leaving before this message ends will benefit you more than staying. This is not fear. This is true. This is holy ground. Each minute you spend on earth brings you closer to heaven. My child, my beloved, you are about to enter a room where your name has already been announced. You are about to receive an invitation, message, or phone call that will completely overwhelm you and cause your knees to buckle. It will seem too good to be true, but it will be. God has not forgotten his word. What was postponed was not ignored. Additional items will be included in the return of stolen goods. The number next to your name appears to be duplicate. I believe a divine decision is being altered. I have noticed that those who oppose you are becoming more subdued, not out of spite, but because you are becoming more formidable. You will not have to defend yourself. Walking will bring you good fortune. To my child, my beloved, I must whisper a message that can only be understood by a soul as unique as yours. Despite the fact that the storms were meant to destroy you, you remained calm. You have endured betrayals that would have made the majority of people depressed. However, you persist. That was not a stroke of luck. That is how you maintain items. God never abandons those he wants to elevate. Your life is on the verge of a prophetic moment that will change its course. What you thought was lost is being reassembled. Something that made you cry is currently being used for another purpose. The wounds that once made you vulnerable will now strengthen you, assuming you regard this message as sacred rather than mere noise. If you leave, heaven will return to its peaceful state. My beloved, my child, your blood carries a spiritual gift that no one else has claimed. Your life was not supposed to be a rerun. These were designed for you to violate. You have observed the same events in your family on a regular basis. You've witnessed the fleeting nature of blessings and unfulfilled promises. This was not created by you. That is generational resistance, and that is warfare. However, God has chosen you to be the individual who prevents them. What malfunctioned? The individual who realizes the reality that others have accepted. That is why they sent you to this location. This is why you felt alienated in your own narrative. It was never intended for you to fit into the traditional mold. Someone advised you to create a new one. This message brings you the peace you've been seeking. The cycles may continue if you withdraw. However, if you respond, your name will be remembered by future generations as the person who answered the call of heaven. My child, my beloved, you have a spiritual inheritance that no one else has. you were not meant to perpetuate the cycle. You felt compelled to prevent them. You have witnessed the same events in your family on numerous occasions. You've seen positive outcomes approach, but ultimately fail to endure. You have seen promises made but not kept. This isn't a fabrication. This is a war, a cycle of generations. However, God has chosen you to speak out, to dismantle the connection, and to awaken what others have accepted. That is why they sent you to this location. This is why you frequently feel alienated from traditional narratives. It was never intended for you to follow the previous plan. You were created to create something new. This message contains the words of solace that your soul has been seeking. Your refusal may lead to the cycles continuing. But if you respond, future generations will be amazed that you were the one who heard heaven's call. A great blessing is already in the air, my beloved, my child. This isn't a metaphor. It's a spiritual reality. It has been hovering in anticipation of receiving permission to land. This blessing is too sacred to waste. God will not give it to you until your heart is ready to accept it. It is not intended just for you. It is for your own and others' futures. It's the kind of miracle that changes the entire family tree. You are now aware of the reason for sending this message. Not to motivate you, but to set you up. To reawaken a part of yourself that has become dormant due to anxiety, stress, fear, and anticipation. This is the point where I step in to polish you off. Please be aware that your full trust, obedience, and knowledge will be required during the upcoming season. Heaven is deeply concerned for you, and it is critical that you reciprocate this sentiment. Someone has been telling lies about you, my beloved, my child, for a long time. They believed you'd never rise again. Your dreams were mocked, and your name was used in lighthearted ways. They were unaware that you had been chosen by God to receive blessings. The order is currently reversing. They will watch as you enter rooms that they had hoped to enter. Your name will appear in unexpected places. However, your success will not undermine them. It will arouse them. God will use your success to rescue people, not as a form of retribution. It will be possible to assess your potential. It was never intended for you to stay hidden. Divine exposure is the primary focus of this season. This message is the beam that breaks through the ceiling of your life. Please comprehend this if you are experiencing the sensation of being on the brink of losing everything, my child, my beloved. You are about to receive an amount that exceeds your expectations. Heaven eliminates what is no longer appropriate prior to the miraculous event. The shaking you are experiencing is not indicative of destruction. It is rearranging objects. The obstruction that was impeding your subsequent chapter has been resolved by God. Things, individuals, and even thoughts that are detrimental to your progress are being eliminated. Although it appears to be a sense of loss, it is actually a sense of liberation. It was never intended for you to transport those heavy objects. Given this message appears to be more significant than others. This is sacred. This opportunity to unlock a door is irresistible. If you depart at this time, the weight may remain. If you remain, the circumstances that are causing problems will begin to make sense. A prophecy regarding your future is being fulfilled as you read this, my beloved and child. The transition will not occur. It has already commenced in spirit. The question is whether or not your faith will evolve in tandem with it. They delay taking action until they have evidence, which results in their failure to make a breakthrough. Nevertheless, faith advances prior to the earth. This is the immediate action that must be taken. The map will not be provided in its entirety. You will be instructed on what to do. And this message is the order. Allow your heart to expand. Have faith in your purpose. Even if you are uncertain about the next step, proceed. You will discover that doors open at a faster pace than you anticipated. Individuals will desire to comprehend the events that transpired. You will be able to identify the beginning of the process when you accepted the message that heaven composed specifically for you. I have one more truth to share with you, my child, my beloved, in this section. It is exclusively intended for individuals who have read this far. Your life was substantially delayed due to an obscure explanation. You believed that you had failed. You believed that the timing was incorrect. However, the reality is that you were concealed. The reason God maintained silence around you was not to punish you, but rather to ensure your safety. It was necessary to maintain the confidentiality of the productions that were taking place in your vicinity. It required time for the calling on your life to develop. Additionally, that season has concluded. You will begin to observe an unusual favor. Individuals will locate you. Your efforts will not be required to force your way into opportunities. Your friends and family will extend an invitation to you. That is how you will determine the authenticity of this message. No one was rejecting you by remaining silent. It was preparing for the announcement. You are currently surrounded by a sacred force, my beloved, my child. It is present regardless of whether your average eyes are capable of observing it. You awaken to a divine silence, while the majority of individuals sleep through the world's noise. There is an essence to that silence. It is a veil. Your name is being inscribed on scrolls of good luck by an angel. God is communicating with forces that are unknown to you regarding their actions to be taken in the background. This is the reason your life appears to have been completely upended. The energy has shifted, and certain individuals have withdrawn from you without explanation. They did not reject you. Their removal and clearance were necessary due to the necessity of a clean environment for the forthcoming event. It is impossible to incorporate outdated habits into this new commitment. This is the reason for God's call, and this is the reason I am composing this message. Please do not delay. Avoid discussing the past when discussing the promise. What is behind you has imparted the information it was intended to impart. Turn now. Anticipate. Proceed. You are incapable of recalling the miracle. The object is in motion. My cherished child. My cherished child. Presently, there is a sacred occasion occurring in your vicinity. Although the majority of individuals sleep through the world's noise, you are awakening through divine silence, even if your eyes cannot perceive it. The absence of sound is not a void. It is a veil. Your name is being inscribed on scrolls of good luck by an angel. God is communicating with forces that are unknown to you regarding their actions to be taken in the background. This is the reason your life appears to have been completely upended. The energy has shifted and certain individuals have withdrawn from you without explanation. They did not reject you. They were being removed and cleared out in order to create a clean environment for the upcoming event. It is impossible to incorporate outdated habits into this new commitment. This is the reason God is calling you, and this message is instructing you to take action. Please do not delay. Refrain from associating the promise with the past. A lesson has been imparted to you by the things that are situated behind you. Turn now. Make a plan in advance. Proceed. You are incapable of recalling the miracle. It is in motion. Please listen attentively, my child, my beloved, as this is the point at which many individuals fail to achieve their breakthrough. They begin to lose their concentration. They progress. They clarify that they will return at a later time. However, in the end, miracles are overlooked. God does not desire goodness. He desires to be present. For an extended period of time, you have been excessively distant from your own destiny. This message was not merely discovered by you. You were summoned. You were selected. There are numerous factors that could have prevented you from viewing this. However, you are still present, reading, and connected. That is crucial. It truly signifies everything. Despite the fact that you are not yet perfect or fully prepared, heaven can discern that you are prepared. Occasionally, all that is required for God to effect change is for individuals to desire it. A change that must occur soon has already commenced for my child, my beloved. I must now be forthright. The shift will still occur if you delay in responding, but you may not be able to observe it from the middle. This is the silent agony that many experience as they witness a promise they once upheld being fulfilled by another individual due to their failure to act when it was most critical. It is now your turn. It is sacred. It has a soft texture. It is crucial. Although the window is open, it is not particularly big. The timestamp on this message indicates the date of its initial transmission rather than its expiration. The subsequent steps are contingent upon your decision. Things will occur that are impossible to achieve through any amount of planning or effort if you say yes in your heart. It will transpire without incident. That is a divine acceleration. My beloved, no one has been observing you with envy from afar, my child. They have demonstrated an interest. They can discern that you are not similar to them. When you are present, the individuals in the room experience a sense of transformation. This is not a display of pride. This is the act of being present. The concept of God's presence and guidance, even in the absence of physical sensation. You have always possessed this anointing. However, the moment has arrived for it to manifest, be genuine, and produce results. This is the reason why this message appears to be burdensome. I am not merely providing them with optimism. It is the catalyst. It is not solely a prophecy. Presently, circumstances are distinct. It is not your destiny to lead a silent existence. You are created to be radiant, not to garner attention, but to accomplish something. Your objective is to awaken as you read these words. Fear is not the cause of your tremors. It is ablaze. My beloved child is on the brink of gaining access to financial stability. This is not a statement I make lightly. The delay that was under your control has been observed, and it is being ended not by chance but by alignment. You are being placed in a state of flow that you could never acquire. This is insufficient to sustain one's life. It is a provision for a specific reason. You will encounter it in unexpected locations, from individuals you did not anticipate, and through systems you did not develop. This will be incomprehensible to the majority of individuals. However, it will be comprehensible to you, as you will recall this moment. This message will remain in your memory, and you will be aware that it was not a mere guess. It was a notice of order. My beloved, I must inform you of a matter that may cause you to weep if you allow it. You have never been alone. Not a single time. Every night I stood beside you as you wept. In every room where you felt as though no one could see you, heaven's eyes were upon you. We witnessed every betrayal, every loss, and every moment in which you questioned your worth. We were not disappointed. We experienced an emotional response. Your words were not the source of your strength. It was in the manner in which you persevered, despite the lack of recognition. God is aware of all things. Now, the reward is rapidly approaching. Purchase it immediately. Not because you are obligated to, but because God has chosen to grant it to you. Grace that is not equitable. Grace that is not warranted. Grace that never ceases. My child, my beloved, you will soon hear a name that you have never heard before. It is one that has been reserved exclusively for you by the heavenly realm. This person will possess the keys to a door that you are unable to open independently. Employ your intellect. Prepare. Please bear in mind that not all individuals to whom you are assigned are your employees. The following are a few responses. You will be aware of their arrival because the timing, peace, and presence will correspond with the information you have received. Do not question it. Avoid allowing the past to undermine your future aspirations. Maintain an open door. Refrain from solidifying. Heaven ought to execute its most effective functions. I am grateful for your attentiveness if you have persevered until the conclusion. You are unaware of the significance of the decision. Messaging is not introduced to govern us. They arrive to reunite us. There is no silence for you. You are being requested to clarify your position. When we listen at the appropriate time, the direction becomes more pronounced, not less pronounced. Confusion intensifies when we neglect ourselves. After this, take some time. Inhale deeply. Contemplations. It is possible to remain in contact with messages that encourage contemplation and reflection. If you are comfortable with the idea, you may choose to subscribe. You continue to be guided. You will remain secure. You have yet to overlook any information. If this message resonates with you, please consider sharing it. To demonstrate obedience rather than to express one's opinions. When you deliver a prophetic message, the anointing is activated to extend beyond your own person. Who knows? What God is doing in your life has the potential to result in a breakthrough in the life of another individual. Finally, one final act of faith. To demonstrate your agreement, simply click the like button on this video. You can participate in an activity by liking it. When you acknowledge the actions of God, you can receive assistance, favor, and alignment in your current location. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this profound truth. This message was not discovered accidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high vibrational protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is extremely simple. However, it has the potential to transform your entire life. You will not only receive blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your life. Accepting this invitation provides you with immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are currently unavailable to the general public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and rapid progress toward your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your breakthrough is nearing. However, your energy, presence, and attention are already extremely valuable. Action is required. Your abundance is ready.